My Vision of Future Classrooms, Final Presentation for EME 6055 by Melissa Moser. Who knows what a typical public school classroom will look like in 30, 20, or even 10 years from now? With the advancement of technology, even classes today look different than they did 10 years ago. Technology that never even existed previously is being used in today's classrooms on a daily basis. Even the students of today's classes, who are almost constantly surrounded by technology in and out of the classroom setting, are different than the students prior to them who grew up with zero or limited technology. One can speculate on the classroom of the future and make an educated hypothesis of what it may look like based on the development of instructional technology up until this point, how technology has shaped the classroom of today, and the emergence of new types of instructional technology such as augmented reality. With this rapid growth and advancement of technology, the future for educational settings, such as public schools, looks very immersive and the possibilities are numerous. Instructional technology has the power to drastically change the classrooms of the future by keeping its emphasis on learning rather than instruction. With students self-regulating their own learning through technology, this emphasis is placed on what and how students are learning instead of how the teacher is presenting instruction. With models such as ADDIE, KEMP, 4CID, and SAM, instructional technologists have the power to create well-designed instructional activities for students that are authentic and cater to the students' needs, such as including relevant 21st century skills. The development of instructional technology up until this point strongly suggests that technology and its utilization in classrooms will only continue to grow. Instructional media has been used in schools for decades, with portable school museums being used in the early 1900s. As technology has grown and was made more available, it was then used in classrooms. With visual instruction and audiovisual instruction being used in the trainings in World War II, they then were used in classrooms as well. Computers were first created and utilized in the 1950s, but computer use in education was low up until the 1990s. When the internet became available in the 21st century, using computers for instruction grew. One such technology that I see being used in classrooms more in the future is augmented reality. Augmented reality, or AR, enables users to interact with digital information in a physical environment. AR takes places and experiences students could not have in a classroom and allows them to experience it by sight and sound through mobile devices or any device with a camera. Augmented reality can be used through QR codes or a trigger image or place. Students or teachers can scan images or be in a certain location for information to be presented to them through the use of AR. In future classrooms, I think AR will be a daily use for students to have more immersive learning and be able to experience learning more authentically through the use of videos and examples on the topics they are working on. If teachers place trigger images or QR codes used to obtain the videos or links through augmented reality around the classroom or school, students can utilize these resources on their own. QR codes, mentioned earlier, are one form of augmented reality. QR codes can be used for many different aspects in classrooms, where students or teachers can scan QR codes with a device connected to the internet and check their answers, view footage of a certain topic, or see example lessons and topics. QR codes allow for limitless interactions with AR, and I believe will only become more readily available in classrooms. Augmented reality does not have to only be connected with a QR code, but can also be used through images or places. Students or teachers can scan images or be in a certain location for information to be presented to them through the use of AR. There are many different devices that can be used with augmented reality. If each student has access to a device with a camera and internet access, as well as headphones to hear the pieces, I think augmented reality can be extremely successful and beneficial to students' self-learning in classrooms. Thomas Edison once quoted, "Books will soon be obsolete in the public schools." While I do not agree with this entirely, as I believe books are essential to learning, I do agree with the larger concept or thought process behind it. With augmented reality, students will not need to carry around a textbook because they could just scan the trigger image or QR code and have access to the online version of the book or articles related to the topic, or even examples and videos of the topic, thus eliminating the need for the book almost. Many schools are already pushing away from traditional textbooks and allowing for more freedom of supplementary materials. Here is a short video summarizing augmented reality and its use in education. The video presents what is augmented reality and provides additional examples of how augmented reality can be used in education.
So let's talk about augmented reality. Exactly what is it? If you're a football fan, you see it all the time when watching football games on TV. Have you ever noticed the yellow first down line that is superimposed on the field? Right. In real life, that's not really there. Augmented reality is an overlay of digital media on top of real life, resulting in a unified but enhanced view. With the latest round of augmented reality, we view our real world through a device such as a smartphone or tablet, and this device superimposes extra information onto our real world view. But not so fast. We can't just point our device at just anything in everyday life and expect for there to be an augmented reality experience. We must use a specific augmented reality app to scan a designated marker. A marker is an object in real life, and this marker triggers the app on the device to show the augment. So what about education? There's definitely augmented reality with no substance that provides entertainment to both children and adults. But there's also augmented reality that has real potential to enhance learning. Check out this quick look at a few educational augmented reality apps and what they do. I'll follow up in later videos with in-depth reviews of each of these apps as well as other augmented reality apps for education.
Monkey.
Theories also support the use of augmented reality for learning, which in turn will allow for its continued growth in educational settings. One learning theory that supports AR is situated learning theory, where all learning takes place within a context and quality learning is based on interactions. AR encompasses this theory because it can be a social event with students using previous knowledge to build new knowledge, but also using new knowledge from AR to relate it to future learnings. Another theory that builds on prior knowledge and has students making sense of their learning through prior knowledge by building connections between old and new knowledge is constructivist and interpretist theories. Both of these types of theories relate to AR because students can bring in not only their prior knowledge with the topic at hand, but also their prior knowledge with the available technologies being used in the AR. Augmented reality can be used in any subject, but one particular lesson idea I will share that uses AR in the classroom is related to mathematics. This particular lesson that I envision using in the future with my students relates to mathematics through the use of AR in a scavenger hunt. I already use scavenger hunts in my classroom. Scavenger hunts have questions posted around the room with an answer at the bottom of the sheet that corresponds to a different question posted around the room. Students can start at any question. They solve the problem presented in the question and then look around the room for their answer on a different piece of paper. I could see taking this to a more authentic and engaging level by utilizing AR and QR codes or trigger images along with the questions. These QR codes or trigger images could provide additional information with real-world examples through videos or audio of the math that is being used. Engaged and motivated students during a lesson or activity is extremely important for students to have an authentic, successful learning experience, and using augmented reality can accomplish that if used properly. If augmented reality is used properly in education, I believe it will transform education. AR has many advantages compared to a typical lesson seen in classrooms today that do not use technology. AR typically involves a user-centered design, taking the user into consideration. This helps create an efficient and engaging experience for the users or students. The AR experience is more authentic because it provides opportunities for students to engage in real-world interactions they would not have previously had access to without AR. AR also has increased chances of knowledge retention when students are engaged and motivated in the lesson. It also incorporates flexibility and cross-curricular learning. There are some potential concerns for implementing successful use of augmented reality in the classroom. It can take a lot of planning on the instructor's end to make sure all the trigger images or QR codes work properly, and this can take a lot of time as well. What also may deter instructors from using AR is the lack of devices for students to use to access the technology or lack of connection to the internet. AR relies heavily on camera use and access to the internet. AR also is that students could have cognitive overload. AR could possibly be providing students with too much information in a short amount of time and thus cause students to become overwhelmed with the amount of material presented to them. With these concerns for utilizing augmented reality in instruction, there are possible ways to overcome them. For the limitations with access to devices with internet access, instructors could have students work in pairs or groups. They could also provide students with answers to each AR experience to limit frustrations, cognitive overload, and misunderstandings. Deploying and utilizing augmented reality in public schools classrooms is one way technology can be beneficial for students in the future. Technology is not going away, and the students of the future will most likely be even more captivated and surrounded by it in their lives. Instructors can use technology to keep lessons relevant and to continue to prepare students for life outside of school. Based on the previous development of instructional technology, how technology is utilized in classrooms already, and through examination and usage of new types of instructional technology, such as augmented reality, one can make an educated hypothesis that the classroom of the future will be even more immersed in technology. Who can say what a typical public school classroom will look like in 10, 20, or even 30 years? What we do know is that technology is here to stay.